welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to be telling you 5 key points you need to know before you travel Southeast Asia, all based on our own personal experience there ourselves.
So we spent 2 months travelling Southeast Asia earlier this year. We only did Thailand and Laos, but they're definitely Thailand's the most popular country in Southeast Asia. Laos, we got a very different feel, but a lot of the things we learned apply to both countries.
Number 1 is eat at the local market. We got so excited when we first arrived in Thailand and when we seen Coffee Club, McDonald's, all the westernized food chains. They will eat your money up, especially if you're traveling for a long period of time, which most people do in Thailand and other places in Southeast Asia. You want to make your money last, so don't eat at the westernized places. Maybe like once,
every now and again,
but don't do it a lot because it will eat your money up.
They seem cheap compared to the Western style places in obviously Australia, UK, whatever. They seem really cheap, but if you go there every day, you're not going to save that much. We
learned the lesson the hard way.
The street markets were so good. We used to get like a meal, a dessert and a drink for the equivalent of about £2.
But I don't know why we didn't do it in the beginning. I think I
don't even know.
I have no idea why we didn't do it in the beginning.
It's because, I don't know, we wanted to maybe play it a bit safe with the food we were eating.
Yeah, but honestly, it's part of the experience going to the market. It's authentic, it's a good vibe. The only thing is, obviously, in the westernized places, you do get air conditioning.
That's the thing.
Which was a big pull-in for us because we're just weak.
So hot.
We're just weak like that.
But it was like 50 degrees.
Yeah, so obviously when you do go to the night markets, I recommend going as late as possible in the evening, so it's a bit cooler. But it doesn't matter anyway, because you're going back to air conditioning anyway, aren't you? So, but that was the mistake we made.
So the next point that you need to know is always have cash with you. Only a certain couple of places, mostly the Western places and things like that, actually accept card. Most things are cash. Even if you're booking tours and transport, it's all done in cash. Obviously the street markets are all cash. Probably, at least 80% of the things you're going to be paying for are going to be cash. They don't have Apple Pay, so you can't just go around tapping your phone. We had to get cash out every week or two.
I'd recommend just getting it out in a big bulk because it does charge you.
Yeah. Not too much in case you lose it, but
not too much, but you could just stash it in places.
Did we?
Tell everyone.
He's gonna find us.
Also be careful with the actual card machines, because I've heard horror stories of people scamming you or it just eating your card and you not getting it back. It's harder if you do lose your card. It's harder to get one shipped out.
That's true. Yeah, to Asia, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're gonna be waiting a long time.
Yeah, man. Always have cash.
So the next one is transport was way more expensive than we ever realised. And that doesn't really mean getting into the local town, because I found that to be quite cheap when you work out the bus.
It was more because we did the whole country of, Thailand for example, we did the whole country really. So it's the buses, the boats, the trains in between each place, which
they really do add up. They're very expensive, and I thought they would be cheap. I always heard that the slow boat was meant to be a cheaper way of getting to somewhere, but it was actually really expensive to get the slow boat.
Yeah, I mean, they're cheap compared to Europe, Australia. They are cheap, but when you compare it to everything else in Thailand, it was our biggest expense, even more than accommodation really, wasn't it?
Yeah, especially if you're moving country to country. Them ones can be expensive.
Yeah, train and boat to Laos. So
for example, we wanted to get from Thailand to Laos, and this resulted in being like a 2-hour coach and then a stayover next to the border of Laos. So then kind of next to it, and then in the morning we then had to get a train, which was ages, wasn't it?
No, the train weren't that long.
Oh, wasn't it?
The bus that the
was it the coach? Oh, maybe the minivan was longer then. Anyway, it was a minivan, stayover, train. How much did that cost us?
Yeah, I can't remember. It was the most expensive journey of the whole thing.
Yeah, and the way you've got to be really double check what they're selling you, because the way the lady said it to us, made us feel like we were just getting an overnight train.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. We got on this coach and everyone was like, oh yeah, we're staying over at this place.
No one knew what was happening.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, this little minivan. We just picking up random people.
Picking up
on the side
random
of the
people
road.
as well. It was
Like people, like a woman had a baby, didn't she?
Yeah, she had a baby, and it was just crazy
Chaos.
experience. But what else do you expect? It's all part of the memories, isn't it? So yeah, transport definitely was a big thing in our budget that got eaten.
So the next point of advice is don't stay at the really cheap hotels and hostels. This was just from our personal experience. Obviously, you can get some nice cheap ones, but from what we found, the cheap ones look okay online, but when you get there, some of them are really shit.
If you can handle it, or if you're a drinker and you're going out drinking and you're coming back and you're not even going to remember where you're staying, then do it. But for us, we really enjoyed coming back to a nice hotel after a long day in a comfortable environment, because I don't know about anyone else who's been to Asia. We actually got kind of homesick, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like we craved them
Missing
home
comforts,
comforts.
weren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not in a Western country anymore, which it was a big shock to our system, I think. So to have that homely feeling in a nice environment when we did get back after a long day, when we were really tired, it was important. Obviously, it's easier as we're a couple, so it does work out cheaper. Whereas if you're solo traveling, I understand that you'd want to stay in cheaper places. Yeah. We tried staying in cheaper places, and you weren't too bad about it, really. It was more
apart from the geckos.
Apart from the geckos, but that wasn't volunteering. That wasn't
true.
Really.
There was a couple in Thailand. And that.
Especially PP was the one that got me the most.
Yeah.
It was just horrible, like horrible.
I didn't like it there.
We paid actually quite a bit of money for that one as well, but we paid for the location because there was ant infestations.
Party next door.
Disgusting free. Oh god, it just. And I know I don't want to moan because people have it worse. Like, oh, we couldn't afford a nice hotel.
Obviously, even the really nice hotels, because it's Asia, they are cheaper than usual, so you can get some really good deals and stay in some amazing resorts like we did.
Yeah, you can for cheap.
For pretty cheap still, but in our opinion, it's worth spending that bit of extra money for the comfort.
It really is. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, if you are on a budget, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I understand that. And it did eat up a lot of our budget.
And we've done before, if we get any comments saying like, oh, that's not proper backpacking, we've done the proper backpacking, we've done proper
hostels.
travelling in the hostel life, we've done all that. So it was nice for us to treat ourselves and have a bit of comfort. Yeah. We've done the proper backpacking. So.
We worked for 9 months to do it, so I don't.
Yeah.
Now, this one may seem obvious, but actually a lot of people
don't
underestimate the rules. So when you do go to temples, because there is some beautiful temples in Southeast Asia, if you are a girl, you do need to cover up your knees and your shoulders because they won't let you in. And you see a lot of people having to pay to buy like sarongs and tops to cover themselves with because they didn't think that, like, well, they thought they were allowed in with what they're wearing.
Being a guy is sort of sweet for us, like we don't have to cover up.
True. But no, they are strict about it, and just save your money because you will end up having to buy stuff there. But even so, I did notice being in Thailand and Laos, it's just common, I don't know, decency to be careful with what you're wearing anyway. Sometimes in the swimming pool, for girls, that they wanted you to literally wear full-on clothes in Laos, which I understand, but a lot of people just didn't do it.
Most people didn't, did they?
It's a bit difficult, I don't know, wearing your clothes in there. But obviously it's people's religions, and I guess you go to their country and you do have to respect that.
So there are 5 advice points from our personal experience in Southeast Asia. We've got so much advice to give on traveling Asia. This was just some simple ones, so we're definitely going to do more videos on advice for that sort of thing. So if you found this video helpful, then we'll do some more because we've got a lot of advice to give, haven't we?
Yeah, we did a month in each country.
And that was just some brief advice, but we can go into a lot more depth.
Yeah. But if you like that video, please be sure to check out our TikToks and my channel, all that good stuff, and we will see you in the next video.